Hi everyone, we are back today to do a little more on this page from the Rita Berman book, the Walk Through the Seasons. And today we're going to be working on the Easter eggs, which you may have guessed from the title of the video. Now, I had a few ideas about what to do with these. I had considered doing them in pastel colours, so we could have used some pastel pencils. But I decided that I would stick with the Black Widows and do some of those. There are some quite pretty colours in them which I thought would work well. So I'm going to do this Easter egg and see how we go. So I'm going to start with this fancy pink. I think it's rather fun. And actually I'll zoom in a little for you. I can't go too far in, but we can go a little bit. Oh, hang on, I can go a lot more in. There we go. Now it's a little bit difficult for me to sort of imagine what's going to work because we've got these leaves here. So these will be green. So what I've decided is I'll use the pink on this end of the Easter egg, and then if I do decide I want to use some green, it will be all the way over here away from those leaves. So I don't want it to sort of blend in and disappear. We do have a bit of an issue with the Easter egg here. It would come round here and I think we would see a bit there from the shape, but I'm just going to colour it as Rita's drawn it because I'm not experienced in coping with that sort of thing. So we're going to do this end bit in the fancy pink. So what I'm going to do is a little more here and then less towards the middle of the egg. It's not going to be too obvious in this smaller gap, but the idea is to try and fade the colour down. Now I'm doing the whole of this bottom section in this pink, all of these stripy bits. So this is a bit lower, so it's going to be a little bit lighter towards the middle. It's going to be a bit easier down here. Now the idea of making it a bit darker on the edges will hopefully help to give the appearance that it is a spherical item rather than just a flat oval or egg shape, of course. So we'll see if it works. It's going to be trickier to see. I'm just doing a light layer here, okay, a little bit darker at each end. Be tricky to see on this bit because of all the leaves going over the top of it, but hopefully when we do this bit it might become more apparent. Now I want to keep us quite light, pastel-y type shades. Not we don't have actual pastels in this set, but keeping them to the sort of paler colours. So I'm taking this palest blue, which is from the Black Widow Spider set. It's Forget Me Not. I'm going to use it for this little bit. So again, a little bit harder here. You can see it's still quite vibrant, but it's not a dark colour. I always think Easter is sort of light pastels, but you could use pastel pencils. I find them a little difficult to get a contrast in colour. So I find that even if you put on more layers, you end up looking it looks quite flat. So you tend to need to mix them with more vibrant colours to get the look. But I've only got a couple of budget sets of pastel pencils, which are lovely, but I don't know whether a more expensive types might work better. I know I've got a few in my Derwent light file set, but I don't tend to use them on their own. Just going to erase that little mistake there. I tend to use them as a sort of to blend up at the end and that sort of thing. So I haven't really checked to see how well they work, and I'm going to be getting my Prismas next month, so I'll be able to see how well those do. I've got a couple of the Holbein pastels I find don't seem to sort of get more intense as you layer them up. So there's our blue. It's quite, you can see it is still very intense, but it's just not a really dark colour. Next, going to use a purple. This one from the Cobra set is called Purple Haze. You can see it's quite a pale one. And I think I'm gonna, we've got a line you see here. I think I'm gonna use it on this line only. And take it, fade it up to the middle. I just heard a car outside. Just making sure it wasn't for me. I'm expecting my phone to ring. I've spoken to my mum, she was in a lovely mood, but I tried to ring my husband earlier and I couldn't get through. He'd forgotten to switch his phone on. So I know that when he suddenly realises he's forgotten to put his phone on, he'll have a look and it will have, it will say he's got a missed call from me, so he'll ring me in a panic. What's wrong? Light yellow. And I don't think I'm going to be able to shade with this. I'm just going to fill in all these boxes. It was I was picking up his prescription from the chemist, and she said, "Oh, you have to wait 10 minutes." And I thought, "Oh, I need to hurry back because my son's at home and he's going to be wondering where I'm at." And so I tried to ring him to ask him if it was urgent or if he could wait until tomorrow. But I think he said he would need them today. But he didn't answer his phone. He'd forgotten to, when they have to, when they arrive at work, they have to switch their phones on, and he'd forgotten, so it wasn't on. That's nice, isn't it? That's quite pastel-y, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it darker here. I'm going to layer it up a bit and see if it looks any darker. But I'm not convinced it will. Oh, it does a little bit. Maybe you can't see that on camera. Maybe it's worth persevering with a few more layers. But yeah, he'll ring me going, "What's wrong?" "It's nothing, it's fine." Now, I think a pastel-y orangey colour is quite nice. And we've got this Toadstool colour in the spider set, which is quite a pale orange. It looks quite vibrant, but I think if we use it gently, we'll get quite a soft colour. And again, a bit harder here and here. There we go, really simple. Now, what are we missing? I sort of highlight we need green, don't we? We have got some very vibrant greens. I think I'm going to use this one, and I think if I'm gentle, I think it could work. I'm going to use this Everglade colour. It's quite a bluey green. It will look very different to the tulip, no, to the daffodil leaf, which means that, which is good. You can see it's quite a bluey green. And I'm trying to use it quite gently because it is really vibrant. But I'll build it up a little bit there. Again, to try and give our illusion of shape to our egg. I wonder what Easter traditions you guys have. We don't have any in our family really. We didn't really eat. We would wake up in the morning and be given a chocolate egg, and that was it really. I'm just looking for other colours while I'm chattering. I'm going to use this tulip. It's another sort of purple. It's really pretty. And we've only got a little bit of purple, so I'm thinking maybe I'll do it on this tip where I've got a bigger area of colour to put down. So yeah, I remember my next door neighbour would come over with a couple of Easter eggs, and my mum would give me one, and I would have one for my uncle. Now my uncle worked in I'm looking for colours while I'm talking. He worked in a bakery, and he was would make Easter eggs to sell in the bakery. This is Bubblegum. It's quite vibrant. I'm going to be quite gentle with it and use it on here. And his Easter eggs were absolutely amazing. So the shell of the Easter egg was really thick. chocolate. He would make them extra thick for family, and then he would pipe your name on the top. I'm looking for another colour while I'm nattering. Yes, he would pipe your name on the top, and then you would have, I decided to go for a cyanide pink. I know we've just done a pink, but we'll try it. The two sides of the egg would be sealed up with some icing as well, and your name would be piped with white royal icing, and it would be on a white royal icing square, and it would have an outline in either pink or blue depending on if you were male or female. We're going to do these stones. I'm just going to choose a colour, and then you would get inside, when you opened it, would come in a cake box, so it would be enormous. Probably the size, I would say, not an ostrich egg, that's quite big, smaller than that but much bigger than a duck egg, probably the size of bigger than the small Easter eggs that you get these days. I'm going to use the charcoal for the stones, a little bit at the bottom of each one. Anyway, and inside the egg, when you opened it, it would be absolutely stuffed full of Quality Street sweets. Now, anyone from the UK who knows will know what Quality Street are. But basically, they're chocolate-covered candies, and they have different fillings. So you would get, just checking I'm still on camera, I am. You would get, say, a fudge, quite a lot of different toffees, orange, coffee, strawberry was my favourite, sort of praline. Oh, sorry, I'm probably making you hungry. Now the tops of these stones, rocks, pebbles, whatever they are, I'm going to do in the spider web. It's quite a light grey. Just this one needs a sharpen, and hopefully it can help the stone to look like it's a little bit more three-dimensional. And you can leave a bit of white if you want them to look shiny. I think I'm going to do that a little, just a tad. Now, obviously we've got a background on this as well. And the bottom underneath. I think the bottom under here I'll probably just leave white. The background I feel needs to be a lovely blue sky, and I wouldn't really want to do it in pencil. I'll probably do it in pastel. The problem is that trying to get it in there without making that yellow go blue could be really tricky. So I think I'd probably be tempted to use a pencil, but pencil backgrounds are hard work. So I haven't really quite decided yet. And we have all the insects in the sky as well. These. Now, I'm going to do these in more bright colours. So obviously with the bee will be quite a vibrant orangey yellows like the daffodils, and maybe bright blues and oranges, things like that, really intense. So the Easter eggs look more pale and pastel-y, and these look more bright and vibrant, so there is a difference. The bird, it's very tempting to just do the bird in shades of bronzy brown to make him look really different and stand out, and I think I might do that. He looks like a wren, look at his tail. So it'd be brown. So I think I'd do him in a brown, but sort of shade different areas and different bits of brown, and use like the sort of tarantula, foxy brown, black, what's that one called, huntsman, those sorts of browns. So those are the sort of, gosh, it sounds silly, brown browns rather than orange browns, so the more sort of towards black, I suppose, rather than orange. So that's how I'm going to do him. So that's that. I will publish a completed, when I've completed this, it will go on my I usually put them on Instagram, I usually put them on Pinterest, but I definitely put it on my Facebook page. I haven't quite got the hang of scheduling it onto Facebook and Instagram at the same time, because then I don't know if you put the hashtags in, I don't really want them on my Facebook post, so I'm not really quite sure about that, but they always appear on Facebook, so that's where it will go. So there it is. Give you some clues, and all my eggs will use the same colours as each other, just in slightly different ways, and I will try and make them look more spherical with the shading. It's quite, as I say, it's quite difficult with pastel. You could use a grey pencil to put some shadow and shade in, but I don't want to do that. I want the nice bright spring-like colours to show. So there we go. So I shall stop waffling and finish for now. I know this has been a little bit shorter, but I think that's okay. You've got lots of homework to do with colouring all these eggs with the double page as well. I'm going to be doing it, as I say, over the weekend. Have lots of fun with that. And when I will try and time it so that the day this video goes up, there'll be a picture that day or that evening on my Facebook page so that you can have a look at the finished thing. So there we go. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a really lovely day. See if you can do a little bit of colouring as well, and have lots of fun. Happy colouring!